Yesterday, while most of Wall Street was watching earnings calendars, Micron Technology quietly dropped one of the most important announcements in the AI supply chain this year, up to $3 billion, deployed to strengthen America's semiconductor supply chain. Not a chip factory, not a data center, something far less glamorous and far more critical: raw silicon wafers. The stock jumped over 6% in early trading. And buried inside that press release is a 10-year agreement that quietly locks in the physical material every AI chip on Earth actually needs to exist. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the real AI trade in 2026 isn't just about GPUs, it's about who controls the raw material underneath them. I'm John A.G. This is Future AI Stocks. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. Let's set the stage. President Trump's trade agenda has one consistent theme running through 2026: build critical infrastructure on American soil, or pay a price for depending on someone else's. Semiconductors sit right at the center of that policy. We've talked before on this channel about chip design, chip fabrication, and chip packaging. But there's a layer underneath all three that almost nobody covers: the raw silicon wafer itself. Before a chip can be designed by Nvidia, fabricated by Intel or TSMC, or packaged by a company like Amkor, it starts as a thin, ultra-pure silicon disk. No wafer, no chip. Period. And right now, most of the world's advanced wafer capacity sits outside the United States. That's the gap Washington has been quietly trying to close. Micron's announcement yesterday is the clearest signal yet of how that's happening, and it pulls in a company most American investors have never heard of. Ticker MU, Micron Technology. Here's what actually happened. Micron announced plans to invest up to $3 billion to strengthen the U.S. semiconductor supply chain ecosystem. As part of that plan, Micron is providing $500 million in strategic financing to a company called GlobalWafers to help build out its 300mm raw silicon wafer facility in Sherman, Texas. In exchange, Micron and GlobalWafers will sign a 10-year supply agreement, locking in Micron's access to raw wafer capacity for the next decade. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick publicly praised the move as strengthening a sector vital to America's technological leadership. This isn't a standalone event either. Micron also raised its total planned U.S. investment target to more than $250 billion through 2035. Now let's talk about why Micron can even afford to make a move like this. The company's most recent quarterly results were staggering. Revenue more than quadrupled year over year, coming in well above what Wall Street analysts were expecting, driven largely by explosive demand in Micron's data center and cloud memory business. Management said they've now signed 16 long-term supply agreements with data center operators and automakers, and expect roughly half or more of total company revenue to eventually sit under these locked-in deals. The stock has delivered a return of well over 600% over the past year, pushing Micron's market capitalization past the $1 trillion mark. But here's the balance part. The stock has also pulled back sharply from its recent highs, and some analysts think it ran ahead of itself. Micron's own management has acknowledged that industry-wide memory supply constraints will take considerable time to improve. And a major new competitor, SK Hynix, is about to begin trading on the NASDAQ, giving American investors a direct alternative way to invest in this same memory boom. That's real competition Micron didn't have a month ago. So why does any of this matter to Nvidia? Because Nvidia doesn't manufacture a single gram of memory. Every AI GPU Nvidia sells depends entirely on high bandwidth memory supplied by outside partners, and reports indicate Nvidia has paid hundreds of millions of dollars up front just to secure guaranteed allocations from suppliers like Micron and SK Hynix. Industry data shows Micron's entire HBM production for this year is already sold out. That single fact tells you everything. Nvidia's growth is not just limited by how many chips it can design. It's limited by how much memory the entire industry can physically produce, which is exactly why a $3 billion investment into raw silicon wafer capacity, the material stage that sits before memory chips even get made, matters far more than the headline number suggests. That brings us to GlobalWafers, the company on the receiving end of Micron's financing. GlobalWafers trades in Taiwan under ticker 6488, and it's worth being upfront here. This stock isn't easily accessible through a typical US brokerage account, which is exactly why most American investors have never looked at it. But its role in this story is significant. GlobalWafers is the world's third largest silicon wafer producer and the only wafer maker with production facilities spread across Asia, Europe, and North America. Its flagship U.S. project is a facility in Sherman, Texas, a campus designed to eventually scale across 6 separate phases. The company has already secured roughly $406 million in Direct CHIPS Act funding to support that build-out, and has separately committed up to $4 billion of its own capital to expand U.S. production further. Micron's new $500 million financing and 10-year supply deal essentially de-risks GlobalWafers' most important growth project, giving the company guaranteed demand for a decade while it scales up American manufacturing. For GlobalWafers, this is a validation moment. For Micron, it's insurance against ever again depending entirely on overseas wafer supply. The risk here, GlobalWafers' most recent annual revenue actually declined year over year. Margins have been under pressure from expansion costs, and the Sherman facility won't be running at full capacity for years. This is a long build story, not an overnight one. Put these two companies together, and the pattern becomes clear. Micron secures the raw material it needs to keep building the memory that Nvidia's entire AI hardware ecosystem depends on. GlobalWafers gets the capital and guaranteed demand to build out American wafer capacity that didn't meaningfully exist before. And the US government, through CHIPS Act funding and trade policy, is the connective tissue underneath both moves. This is the same onshoring pattern we've tracked with Intel and Amkor, just one layer further down the supply chain at the material stage almost nobody else is covering. Let's be balanced here, because that's how serious investors think. Micron's own transaction documents note this deal isn't finalized yet. It's still subject to definitive agreements and regulatory approvals. Memory pricing is historically cyclical, and any slowdown in AI infrastructure spending would hit Micron's growth story hard. SK Hynix's upcoming NASDAQ listing introduces a major new competitor for American investor attention in this exact space. For GlobalWafers, declining recent revenue and a multi-year timeline to full production mean this is a patience trade, not a quick one. And broadly, this entire thesis is tied to current U.S. trade and industrial policy. Policy can shift. Know your risks before you know your thesis. So here's the takeaway. While everyone else was watching chip design and chip fabrication headlines, the real move yesterday happened one layer deeper in raw silicon wafers, the material nothing in AI gets built without. If this gave you a piece of the supply chain you hadn't considered before, hit like. It helps this channel reach more people who want research over noise. Drop a comment which stock interests you more, Micron's memory dominance or GlobalWafers' overlooked wafer play. Subscribe and hit the bell icon. I'm John A.G. I'll see you in the next one.